Michael Morpurgo's running Wilds at Wolverhampton's Grand Theatre from the 6th through to the 10th of June. I have two of kind of the stars of the show, actors, puppeteers. I'm not really sure what to describe them as. We have Romina Hytten and Fred Davies. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
So, first of all, Romani, tell us a bit about your role in the show, because you are half of Marnie, the orangutan.
Yes. So me and Fred, we're sort of side to side during the show, and I hold the head in one arm, and Fred has the body in the other arm of the puppet. And Marnie, she's a beautiful big mum orangutan, very orange, and so she sort of follows Lilly through the jungle and may or may not save her, and
So avoiding spoilers there, but it is very much a family show, and it's aimed at kids, but there is a very strong message, a very powerful message all the way throughout, and it's one that I think all the family will enjoy and really want to take part in listening to.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's one of the most lovely feedbacks we have from audience members, I think, that they come with their children to give their children a lovely afternoon, and then they are in tears at the end of it and think, oh wow, it was the most beautiful show. And that's really lovely, I think, that we can create a show that is available for all different types of audiences, which is really nice. And it does have, like you said, very important messages in it that are really relevant to today.
And Fred, being the other end of an orangutan, I mean, how does all this work? How did you make it happen? It must have taken a good while to get into character, as it were, in this role of puppeteering.
Yeah, it took about 3 months for me and Romina to kind of get that language that we have now with the puppet. We did a lot of research, looking at YouTube videos of orangutans, looking at their physicality, looking at their walking patterns, looking at their sounds. There's a lot of research, but I think what we've got now is a representation of an orangutan, how an orangutan would behave in its natural habitat.
So did you watch a lot of David Attenborough programmes then in preparation for this?
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
As basically anything that we could get our hands on that was orangutan based, we watched and we slowed down and we saw freeze frames of, and we did as much research as we could, because no one really knows much about orangutans, so we just took as much from different places as we could.
And when you're working with a family of orangutans at points, because obviously you mentioned that Manny's a mother, there's all those interactions that you have to get right as well. And is it more the acting or the puppeteering? Because is this puppeteering something new to you guys and you were coming into this role, or is it something you'd both done before?
Yes, well, it was new to both of us, really, because this is the tour of Running Wild, but it started a couple of years back in 2015 with the Chichester Festival Youth Theatre, which we've both been part of for a long time. Yeah. And that's where we first started. We played Marnie, so Toby and Finn, who we worked with, who were the puppet directors, who were incredible, introduced us to puppetry, and we sort of fell in love with it since then. And then we're very, very lucky to be able to go with it to Regent's Park and now on tour. It's been really great, and it's the beginning of our professional career. So it's been all thanks to the Youth Theatre at Chichester, and
And those first performances, they were actually outdoors, I think, weren't they?
Yes, it was a promenade production.
Yeah.
And how does that change the way in which you do the show compared to being able to do it on a stage?
It changed it completely. It was fantastic. So in the first incarnation, we took each scene to a different location so the audience would follow the action round, and which was led by the ensemble, or the main cast, the Oona and the little boy, who was then a boy, now is a girl, Will. And then that changed when we went to Regent's Park, because we then put that all on a stage, all in one place, but then it was open air, and so we had the natural elements to contend with, which was really interesting when you got presidential helicopters flying over right in the middle of a performance. That's fun. And now it's changed completely again, because we've put it into an indoor space, but still on the main stage. And so each time we've done it, it's almost been like we've done a completely different show. And
that keeps it fresh for you, I suppose, as well.
Yeah, completely fresh. It hasn't been boring in any way, shape or form. People have come up to me and said in the past, like, why are you doing it a third time? You're going to be really bored of it by now. But it is completely different. It's literally like doing a new show each time we do it.
Yeah.
And in itself, the amount of running around you guys do, it must keep the fitness levels up there. I mean, do you have to do any special prep for this, or what do you do to keep yourself in good shape?
We are literally all running wild backstage. I think we're all as a company are all in it completely together.
Yes.
I mean, and the whole cast is so lovely, and all the everyone backstage and the crew and the whole company is lovely. We have Michael, who's our dance captain, does lots of physical, energetic warm-ups with us, and sort of had different tricks and trades in the rehearsal room, sort of like a bucket with a stick on it that you had to roll up with just your wrists, and that was, how to strengthen our wrists and things, because puppetry is
it's
random
weird
muscles
that you don't use in normal life.
You can't go to the gym and get ready for it. You have to pick up the puppet and do it again and again and again to build up funny muscles. Like, we've all got this funny puppet muscle like on our hand that we were like, poke that. It's like,
no one's ever seen one of those before. But does this mean that you sometimes take the puppets home as well to make sure you're practicing throughout the weekend? Or there's a look on the face. No, you're separated from them, and the puppets do not come out to play.
No, we would all feel too bad for taking them home in case anything happened to them, because they're so precious.
Oh, they are amazing as well, and the amount of detail in there. And do you have stunt doubles just in case something goes wrong, or is it just work your way through if something bad happens?
Yeah, pretty much.
Sort of like just look after them, basically.
Yeah. If an arm comes off on stage, you carry on with
an
arm.
There's some at the back with gaffer tape. No, maybe not. But something that the size of the elephant in this piece, it's an absolutely amazing puppet. 4 people running that one, and 2 of you on the smaller creatures. So, I mean, the number of people involved in this on stage at any one time is amazing, but you just don't see the people, do you? You're pretty much invisible as you're doing your job in this, and that must be odd, being a performer, knowing people aren't looking at you.
Quite nice, actually, isn't it?
I like it. It's really nice.
It's relaxing. I mean, I don't want... If people look at me, we both look really stupid, pulling funny faces, making weird noises.
Yeah.
But no, it is quite refreshing, actually. It's nice to sort of put all your energy into an object and bring it to life. It's quite beautiful. And
it's a massive compliment that we disappear, like you said, because that's our objective, is just to not be there, not be visible, but to be there at the same time. So to direct your attention to the animal we're bringing to life.
And it's just a different way of telling a story, and a very enlightening story it is. And having come from a novel that is obviously going to have made a difference to people's lives, it's great to see that brought to life on stage. And are there any roles in this that you would like to have maybe taken over? I mean, would you rather be part of the elephant, or are you happy with your orangutan?
I don't know. I mean,
I don't know.
I love orangutans now. This show is really making me fall in love with them. But we did in Regent's Park. We both played baby orangutans. So the character called Frank in there was 2 of those in the original. We had to make it a bit smaller and a bit shorter for the tour. So we did have a chance to have a go at another puppet and play around, which was kind of fun, keeping it fresh. And we also have 2 swing puppeteers in this tour that are incredible, because they do a couple of shows as the head of Oona, a couple of shows as the body of Oona, a couple of shows as Marnie,
and a couple of shows as the ensemble as well. So 4 different tracks to remember. It's incredible.
So we do get to rotate to sort of because we've got quite a long tour ahead of us to stop repetitive strain and stuff like that. So it's quite nice. It keeps it fresh that there's always new people on stage and you're interacting, and so each show is always different. And we've also got 3 Lillys as well, the little girls, and they're all different in their own right. So
And when you're telling a story like this, very often kids shows, it's just about music, or everything is sung, and that must be demanding for the Lillies in this, because they're actually doing it as a straight piece. It is very much a play, but one which is so engaging that it holds the audience. But do you ever get tempted to burst into song, or maybe dance around as an orangutan during this? Is it quite tempting to just put a few extra little bits in there that are not strictly in the script? Go on, that looks like a yes, but you're going to say no.
I'm going to put my hands up and say, I'd love Marnie to do some dancing on stage. That would be fantastic. I've been thinking for a while about where we can put it in, but it's not that kind of piece. Like you said, it is very much a straight play, which is also really nice that these girls have taken on that role, these little Lillies, and completely made it their own. Each of them individually captivates the audience in a different way, and brings their own energy to the character, which is astounding when they're so young. They're so passionate about what they're doing that it just bursts out of them. It's great. But
and also it's lifelike. We're creating the animals to be lifelike. So a lot of the times in rehearsals, Toby Oliver's like, "That's too Disney. Stop that. Don't do it like that." They got to really believe that these animals are in the wild and alive. So.
Well, I certainly think that comes across so well on stage. A really lovely piece, and great to know that you guys have come through and through working in a youth theatre to do this. And in fact, I mean, Fred, you're from I think Birmingham way, aren't you as well? So you're coming back to the Midlands, and does that mean you're going to be bringing several family members along to see you on stage for the first time, and then after the show go, no, we didn't even spot you were there?
Hopefully, yeah. I've got my family from Birmingham and some friends from Birmingham coming to see the show, which would be really nice. Hopefully they'll come and be like, where were you? I couldn't spot you.
Disappear into the background.
Yeah.
Well, it's an amazing set, an amazing show, really brilliant work from you guys, really enjoyed the whole production. If you want to see it, it's at Wolverhampton's Grand Theatre from the 6th through to the 10th of June. grandtheatre.co.uk is the website, or you can book tickets from the box office on 01902 429212. But thank you both for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.